Hey, today's lesson we're looking at the one string major scale. So this is a very, very basic concept that you can do pretty much an unlimited amount of cool stuff with. So to check it out, we'll go to the high E string, 3rd fret, which is G. So for the example, we'll be playing a G major scale. So the way that this works is you could think of it as everything is a whole step, or 2 frets, except for 2 spots. So the half steps, or the 1 fret jumps, are going to happen when we go from note 3 to note 4 and note 7 to note 8. Important to know that note 8 is really the same note as note 1. So you could think of it as 7 to 8 or just 7 back to 1 again. So if this is our 1, whole step to 2, whole step to 3, half step to 4, whole step to 5, whole step to 6, whole step to 7, and then half step to 8 or 1, whichever way you prefer to think of it. And that's the same note that we started on. So no matter where you start it from, if we were to start at the 1st fret on F and follow those number patterns, it would be an F scale. If we started from a B flat, it would be a B flat scale. And you can do this on any string. This was a G, this is also a G, this is also a G. So we could do those half step and whole step patterns from any one of those Gs, and it would be the same exact scale, just maybe in a lower or higher octave. So when you put it all together, now that might seem a little bit boring in a way compared to maybe playing a scale this way through the strings, but the idea is if once you map it out, you can do some interesting things. For one, it's great for sliding. If you have all your spots mapped out, you could skip. If you see 1 and 3 is all the way up here, you slide to 3, maybe back down to 2, maybe then all the way up to 5, up to 7, down to 6. So that takes a little mapping out to do that, but you can basically get a nice fluid slide kind of sound as long as you map the notes out ahead of time. It's also cool to do stuff like this, trills. So that's note 1 and note 2, note 2 and note 3, note 3 and note 4. So just hammer on pull-offs, 4 and 5, 5 and 6, 6 and 7, 7 and 8, or 1. You can also, instead of using 2 fingers or sliding around 1 finger, if you map out, let's say, the first 3 notes and use different fingers and make the stretch, you can create cool little triplet patterns, for example. And then move up to note 2, 3, and our half step to note 4. 3, 4, and 5. So a lot of cool things you can do between sliding and stretching and stuff like that, and moving to the other strings as well. The last little idea that I'll throw at you, I'll go over the technique in another video, but this is a great way of introducing yourself to two-handed playing, or tapping, as a lot of people would call it. Let's say, for example, we hold note 1, we hold note 2, and we use our right hand. Some people use their index finger, some people use the middle finger. I like to use the middle finger, and you can use that finger to tap note 3, or note 4, or note 5, or note 6, note 7, or note 8. And of course, you can also move these away from note 1 and 2. You could do note 2, 3, and let's say 5, or 4. So a lot of cool ideas. As you get used to going up and down the string, if you wanted to transfer to another string, let's say, for example, we went to note 5, and we figure out that that note is a D. Note 5 in a G scale is D. We could potentially find a D, let's say, on the next string, the B string, which is right here, the same fret where this 1 was at. So now you could, let's say 1, 2, and jump down to 5, and then continue from there. 6, 7, 8, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back to the other string to 1. So this becomes a great way of going this way up and down the fretboard instead of only being stuck here. So experiment with different scales. Start from G, start from F, start from A, start on different strings, and see what you can find in there. You'll find a lot of cool different riffs depending on what you try to do.